So all of us grow up hearing that having it all is not only possible, but also what we should expect as Americans. From big screens to small screens, we see the concept of having it all. It seems easy. Movies like Marry Me and Barbie and TV shows like Scandal feature very powerful women who seemingly have a perfect life, enviable careers, and complete control over everyone and everything in their circles. In TV commercials, oftentimes you'll see an impeccably dressed woman coming out of her minivan with her 2 children and a golden retriever. She makes time to cook dinner. She goes to work as a CEO for the company, while simultaneously helping her helpless husband put that bike chain on little Bobby Schwinn in the front yard. Not only that, even on social media, we see exotic vacations and incredible food and a perfectly filtered existence where everything is beautiful and nothing ever goes wrong. At TEDx Wilmington, as we talk here, the closest major city is Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, they have created one of the greatest icons in the entire world. Not Ben Franklin, not the Liberty Bell, and not even the Philadelphia Eagle, but the Tasty Cake. The Tasty Cake stands alone as a singular bite of perfection that we all can have. And seemingly, having it all is a lot like getting a tasty cake. You can walk into a store, a local fast food place, supermarket, and pick one up. It is marketed as a singularly perfect creation in every form of shape, just like the wonderful life we are promised when we hear about having it all. But in reality, having it all is nothing like grabbing a tasty cake off the shelf and tossing it to a friend, expecting them to love it. And believe it or not, there are some people who don't even like tasty cake. Or maybe they prefer butterscotch crimpets, jelly crimpets, or even those chocolate-covered cakes which have marshmallow on top of them, which you would not know about it if you're not from this area. But the truth is that having it all isn't about getting something prepackaged and ready to go. It's about making it yourself from scratch. What if I told you there's a recipe? Not a universal recipe, just like the tasty cakes with their trade secret, but one that you can adapt, tweak, and make entirely your own. Would you want that recipe? Well, if you are, pay close attention and make sure that you take out that pen and a notebook or your phones or iPad, whatever you use, because I will give you that recipe. Just like any cake, remember, it is important that we know that it takes time to bake the cake. It takes the right mix of ingredients, the patience, and allowing the time to let it cool and settle. And for having it all, it can have different types of ingredients for different types of people, because most of us don't like the exact same cake. And no matter how unique your recipe becomes, every great cake and every fulfilling life starts with the same foundational ingredients. In front of me, you will see those perfect ingredients. And even if you do not watch Top Chef or Chopped, I promise you that you have the ability to be the baker and the chef in your version of having it all. So let's talk about it. The very first ingredient is self-inventory. 2 cups of self-inventory. It is the foundation of your life, of your cake, just like flour is the foundation of any good cake recipe. Self-inventory means spending time daily on reflecting who you are, what you value, and what do you want your life to stand for. It also means knowing what you bring to the table, and is the hardest ingredient to measure because it requires brutal honesty. Is your vision truly yours, or is it borrowed from someone else? Without self-inventory, everything crumbles. Next, we have 1 cup of purposeful passion that you meld with self-inventory. Think of it as sugar. It gives your life energy and sweetness. It's about aligning your actions with your values. And purposeful passion is the flavor that makes your life worth savoring. And it's the fuel that keeps you going when life feels hard. The third is the inner potential, just like cracking eggs into a cake. It anchors you, providing you stability and resilience when life challenges you. And also it reminds you that you have what it takes. You just have to crack it open like an egg and use it. This step requires trust. Trust that there is inner potential, your inner strength, that you may not even realize it. And even if you can't see it yet. The next is blending in 3/4 of a cup of comfort with failure and fear of the unknown. Just like adding butter or oil or water into a cake. And here's where we encounter the churn. The churn is that messy, chaotic part of your life when nothing seems to blend. You may be doing your best and feel like nothing is working. And it's here where the fear and the doubt creep in. And for me, the churn happened when I left my cushy corporate job to pursue coaching. I thought I was following my purposeful passion. Just when I thought I had everything figured out, life threw me a curveball. I broke my right shoulder in multiple places and my business struggled. It was like standing in a storm, unsure if I would ever see the sun again. And I'll admit it, I was ready to take the whole bowl and throw it in the trash and walk away. But the only way out is through. The churn is not a wall, it's a doorway. In my experience, walking through it is terrifying. But here's where the transformation occurs. Without the churn, your life, your cake, will never rise. When you're in the churn, don't give up. Just keep stirring. Yes, just keep stirring. We need to learn to embrace those daily challenges, uncertainties, and failures because they enrich our lives and experiences. Next, we add a tablespoon of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is what enhances our emotions and how we manage them and how we connect with others, helping everything come together smoothly. Emotional intelligence is the baking powder that helps your cake rise perfectly, no matter how chaotic the mix feels. Then we add a sprinkle of harmony and gratitude. These small but essential ingredients bring balance and elevate everything else. It is your salt that helps you by doing daily practices of being grateful and striving for harmony. It helps you create a foundation that supports all aspects of your life. And lastly, after the cake is baked, we finish it off with 1.5 cups of commitment, clarity, and consistency. It is the frosting that seals the layers of your cake together. And in today's microwave culture, what is it filled with? Instagram, TikTok Reels, quick fix ads. Having it all? We hear about it. Oh yeah, you can have it all in a minute, or a weekend, in a week, or in a month. The truth is that real growth, the kind that lasts, happens over a lifetime. And to finish a recipe, it is essential that we integrate our goals with purpose. Ensure that your goals are clear and achievable, because that keeps your work from falling apart. You've put in such hard work. So be sure that you take care of it. Everything we create, we bake in our oven of life. And yes, it is messy, but that's our oven of life. And here's the thing, if you take the ingredients and put in situations that are too hot, everything is ruined. If you rush the process or don't blend, yeah, it's important to blend those ingredients for enough time. If you don't do that, everything is ruined. A great cake, just like personal growth, takes time and the right conditions to flourish. So what if you took a step back and look at your cake that you have created? It probably doesn't taste like a tasty cake, does it? Remember those yummy tasty cakes? Yeah. Remember those yummy tasty cakes that are produced on a conveyor belt, pumping out the exact same cake over and over again for everyone to eat? But life isn't a factory. Having it all doesn't mean following someone else's formula. Because every recipe will be different based on who you are, what you value, and what are your experiences. When I prepared my cake, it represented my version of having it all. Just like your cake will represent yours. While our cakes may taste completely different, I gotta tell you, my cake is perfectly perfect to me, just as yours will be to you. And the best part, we can celebrate each other's cakes without comparison or judgment, because there's enough room for all of us to celebrate while we have made our cakes. And in having it all, remember 3 things. The first is sourcing the ingredients. Take time to understand where your self-inventory, purposeful passion, and inner potential is coming from. As we know, the source of ingredients is as essential as the ingredients themselves. Second, make sure to measure your ingredients correctly. It's critical that self-inventory is your starting point, acting as a strong foundation. This needs to be the most plentiful ingredient in your bowl because it represents what's most important to you and contributes to the greater good. Third, allow your cake time to bake. Even though society tells us that success comes overnight, it rarely does. Arianna Huffington, co-founder of the Huffington Post, has captured it beautifully. Success is not a straight line. It's more like a dance, being open to possibilities. So it's important that we allow ourselves time for the recipe to come together and getting to a level where the cake is baked. And it's important always to finish it off with the frosting, which is your commitment, clarity, and consistency. So what's critical is that you show up day after day, because having it all isn't a one-time achievement. It's about building something into daily practices, and those daily practices lead to having it all tangibly. So make sure that you're committed to following the recipe to a letter. And in case if you need to remember the recipe, just remember spices C3. S is for self-inventory, your foundation. P is for purposeful passion. Aligning your goals with your values and having that fuel in times of hardships. I is for your inner potential, your inner strength that anchors you. C is comfort with failure and fear of the unknown. And E is for emotional intelligence that allows you to have growth mindset and develop adaptability. And finally, C3, which is commitment, clarity, and consistency. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry to have it all. I am going to enjoy my perfect have it all cake, and I will celebrate yours too. Now it's your time. Now it's your turn to mix those ingredients, embrace the churn, and bake a cake, bake a life that's uniquely, deliciously yours, because your life is worth savoring one bite at a time. Thank you.